What's going on, everybody? Yes, I haven't made a video in a long while because a lot of stupid shit's been happening. I upgraded. Yeah, the trucks they tried to give me were pieces of shit. Straight out pieces of shit. The first one was a manual, which I don't have a problem driving, but it was infested with ants and roaches. That I have a problem with. So I didn't take that truck. Second truck they tried to give me, air conditioner didn't work. It's fucking Alabama and it's summertime. Yeah, that's not happening either. The third truck they tried to give me had like the depth sensor or something like that, needed to be fixed, no problem. But by this time I decided to go home. And you know, I miss my wife, miss, you know, being home and everything. I was supposed to be home for Shark Week, but was gonna miss it. So I decided to go home for a few days. Came home, relaxed. Everybody was happy to see me. Even the wife. Was happy to see me. Went back. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you know, so the truck was going to go to the shop. Since my mother was coming to get me up in Alabama to come home, excuse me, because I didn't want to take no fucking Greyhound. That would have took forever. So what I did is asked my mom to come up there with my car, and she did. It was a long, tiring drive for her, especially being a passenger. But you know, I took time and cleaned the truck up and everything. So because it was told to me that this is my assigned truck, so when I come back, it'd be ready to go. So they fixed the fucking thing, and then when I go back up there 3 days later, the truck's not parked in the same spot that I was in. You know, went to the shop, kind of figured it was that. Then got into the truck and it was full of sunflower seeds and piss bottles and shit like that. I had a conniption fit because I thought this was my truck, and apparently I'm wrong. There's a slip seat up there. So then they tried to put me in this other truck, and the fucking Qualcomm didn't work in it. They wouldn't even let me log in. So they sat there messing around with that. I got back up there about 5:30 in the afternoon, and we've been, you know, trying to clean out the truck and everything. They try to make me take a load with the Qualcomm not working, and run paper logs and use Google Maps. Yeah, that's a fucking great idea with a fucking, you know, 74-foot truck. Yeah, that's peachy. That shit wasn't happening. So we had to wait for another slip seat driver to finish his load, and they made me take this other load. Now, remind you, I got up early in the morning. I left the house about 6:30? Yep, 6:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Went to fucking Alabama, Brundage, Alabama, and that's an hour behind us. So I went backwards in time. As soon as I crossed that magical line, I went backwards. Okay, so I was at this time, by the time they gave me another load and everything and swapped me out and everything, it was like 9 o'clock. You know, I was tired, but I wasn't exhausted where I couldn't run a short load. And that's where this person who's going to remain nameless, you know, got an attitude with me and said, what, you too tired to run a load now? And I was like, no, I'm not too tired to run a load. But you got to remember, I've been up since 6:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So then he's like, okay, how about this Pensacola, and you can either shut down at the store or come back to the thing. I said, I'll come back because you want me to get this out. And he's like, yeah, you need to get it going because it's already late. It had to be a restack. What a restack means is when a trailer is too heavy, they had to take all the shit off of it, figure out what the store is not going to get, and then restack it. So it's legal to drive. So his load was already late. It was a frozen dairy load. So they have to be delivered by midnight that same day. So he gives me the load and the paperwork, and I'm just trucking along, driving along and everything. And about 10:30, I realized that this is a neighborhood market I'm going to. Well, neighborhood markets close at midnight. So I called the dispatcher and asked him, like, look, is there going to be a night crew or somebody there to receive this load? And he's like, no, you got to sit there until 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, motherfucker, I didn't bring any pillows, blankets, sheets, nothing. And there wasn't even a fucking mattress in this goddamn truck. So what am I supposed to do about sleep? And his response to that was, not my problem. You should have looked at the paperwork before you left. See, I was fucking heated. And at this time, I was talking to my wife, who was not happy about it either. So collectively, we said, fuck you. And the next morning, when I got done delivering those loads with very little sleep, I took that fucking truck back to the terminal, wrote down on the paper, no PTA time, which PTA means personal time to availability. So I wrote no PTA time, no longer on this account, OTR. Handed them their fucking keys, their surge badge, the whole 9 yards. Told them to have a nice day. I was going to say have a nice fucking day, but my wife said don't do that. So I didn't do that. So did that. And I said, yeah. And I left. And she made me sleep for an hour. So I got out of Brundage and I got down to Troy. And she made me sleep. So I slept for an hour, which I thought was good enough, but apparently it wasn't to her.
No.
So she bitched and pissed and moaned at me, so I stopped right at the Florida Alabama line, and laid there and am in the car and slept for 2 hours, which did no fucking good to refresh me or anything. All it did was make me more tired. Great call. So then I've been home. And when I got home, I called driver placement up there and told them, this shit ain't happening, this shit ain't working. I told them the whole spiel, what's going on. They said, that shit ain't right. I was like, it ain't. And I said, I want to go OTR. They said, okay, we got to put feelers out to the terminals and figure out which terminals need the drivers and stuff, because they have to have a balance between drivers and driver managers. In other words, Atlanta terminal can't have 300 drivers, and then Ocala terminal only have like 20 drivers. They have to balance it out across the country. I mean, I could have ended up, my home terminal could have been Phoenix, Arizona. I don't live there, but that could have been my home terminal. But anyways, getting back on topic. So I came back home. And I've been home ever since. About a week and a half?
Yep.
About a week and a half. Week and a half. Driver placement, dragging their fucking feet. I got fed up with them. Started talking to this other company. The other company, unfortunately, they just don't have trainers in the area. And I'm tired of sitting. So to make a long story short, the management, surprise, surprise, I'm going back to Alabama. Apparently I'm gutting for punishment here. But I talked to the upper management. I talked to Sean and the head driver leader. And yeah, and they seem to be genuinely apologetic of what happened. Things happen. Some people are no longer there. You know, tough luck for them. You know, maybe you shouldn't be a shithead. But so yeah, tomorrow morning I'm heading out, going back to Alabama. I'm leaving here at 5 a.m. But I mean, on the plus note, I was here for Shark Week, which made this
me very happy.
Yeah, made her extremely happy. Me personally, I'd rather be out there, you know, making money, because that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. And I also gain weight being home because she feeds me too much. But here's the thing: I leave, she loses weight.
Yeah, I do.
She lost weight, and now, what's the problem now, honey?
I gained it all back because he's home.
Because I'm home, so she's no longer depressed, so she decides to eat herself and get fat.
Hey.
So, hey, I'm just as fat. I didn't have this double chin in my last video, so now they're going, what the fuck? Going up and down, up and down. Yeah, like a fucking cartwheel here. So, I'm going back. They said they got a truck for me. Things are going to be different. They've already cleaned up the house. Some people are no longer there, but like I said, you know, maybe you shouldn't be a shithead. So, that's the wonderful story. So, I'm home. I won't be home much longer. It's undetermined how long I'll be out. So, well, we're going to see if they uphold their promises, and this is a part 1 of this saga, and we'll see the conclusion tomorrow.
If you get a truck.
Yeah, I better get a fucking truck, otherwise I'm gonna go off like a motherfucker. You think me just saying goodbye fucker was bad? You know, I'm gonna be shitting on your desk. I will barge up in there, pull my britches down, and shit right on their keyboard. But yeah, this is kind of a long video. This is kind of updated where we are on this new journey. We started way up here. We went way down here. We almost got another company here, and now we're going to go back to Alabama, which we're about right here, which is either I'm glutton for more punishment and going to get my feelings hurt more,
Or it's going to be okay.
or everything's going to be okay. Make that money, make her happy,
Make him happy.
that thing over there happy that's underneath the blanket. Make that thing right there that's snoring right there. Both of them. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm out here, to provide for my family. And for this one. And
No, update.
update on Mr. Anubis here. He no longer has nuts. And he no longer has his dew claws. He's all healed up. And he's like, what the fuck? But yeah, I can't bring him right away. Because again, the same reason why my mom didn't go out on the truck with me when we went out. One, my mom apparently is too old and can't get her fat ass up in the truck. So hopefully she works up her her upper body strength and works on that. Then maybe she can go out, later on. But two, if all this commotion and shit and truck changing and all that stuff would happen with my mom being there, it would not have been a pretty fucking sight. I would have been livid more so. So that's why he's not going to go, because I'm not going to suggest him to some punishment. Right, Anubis?
What?
Yep, that's my killer dog. You better watch out. He will bite your toe like you've never seen. No, he's not much of a licker. So that's this video, and I will post one tomorrow after I get settled in with my truck and everything, and maybe hopefully have a tour of said truck, or maybe I'll just stand in an empty parking spot and say, see my imaginary truck.
Can you customize your truck?
So-
Like put special stickers or something?
No, because it's not my truck, it's still Swift's truck, as Jordan asked some questions. So alright, to be continued. So wait for part 2. Alright, love everybody, glad to see everybody on Shark Week. Hope all of you happy. We're happy about it. Yeah, everybody thank Janice. Me, I was just a slave, apparently. Slaves don't get thanked, that's fine.
No, it was beautiful food and he did an awesome job.
You see how she closes her eyes? She's lying like her ass
No,
off.
I just have something in my eye. No, really. He did wonderful. I love that he was there. The food was amazing. And I love you, baby.
She's sucking up now. You see Facebook, it's all on her. It's all her. I'm not bitter at all. So, alright, love everybody, and see y'all in the next video tomorrow.